congratulations, lads. Great performance, Johnny. How was it to be back out there after 6 months? You did pretty well.
It's delighted to be back. Didn't expect the conditions to be like that. It was incredibly hot in the warm up, in particular. But look, delighted to get through some minutes. We showed some good stuff. A lot to talk about as well. Lots to improve on an individual front and as a team. We also know the challenge next week is going to be up a couple of levels, so we need to be better again. So look, we're very, very happy with 5 points and a good points difference as well, which could matter at the end of the pool. And
overall for you, Andy, how would you sum up the performance?
Well, I suppose in hindsight we always look at it. Before the game and after the game, would we be happy with the scoreline? And of course we would. I actually thought at half time with a few things to sort out. I thought we stopped the flow of our game quite a bit in regards to a few areas of our game, maybe discipline or got a little bit frantic with our communications, certainly after line breaks, a few passes on the floor, etc. I thought after the break we was very composed. I thought we showed our intent, our togetherness as a team, how in sync we were, certainly with the ball in hand. Our fitness was great and our skill level was pretty good as well. So delighted with how we played, certainly in the second half, certainly not the first 2 minutes.
How did you feel after the 3 minutes?
One more, because we've got lots of questions. So one at the back.
Hey Johnny, what was your mindset like going into the game? Obviously you've done this loads of times coming back after long layoffs, but was there any nagging doubt or anything in the back of your mind that you would be able to hit the ground running?
No, like I said last week during the press conference, you got to go and show it. It doesn't matter if you've trained hard or, when it comes to the game, it's different. The pressure is different, the intensity is different. So it's definitely needed a game for sure to sort of test it out. Happy with some stuff and not so happy with a couple of other things. So like you are after every game. I don't think you've ever played a game where you're 100% happy. We'll go and review the game as individuals and as a team. But enjoy tonight. Enjoy watching the other games and spend time with each other, and then get back to work on Monday.
Hi Andy, congrats on the win. You got 12 tries in total. Was the last one the most pleasing, where the clock is in the red?
I didn't know what was happening. I was down on the sideline and I was begging them to keep the ball in play. I thought at one stage Hugo was going to kick it off, and then Mac Hansen started to play like an under 12-year-old, which was great. And then there was a chip over the top, and I thought, why have we chipped that? And then Bundy got it back, and then it was an outstanding way to finish the game. For the crowd more than anything, because I think to get off to a good start is very important for us because of the people. Because of the people not just travel today and around Bordeaux having a great time, but for the Irish public in general. They tell me that 60,000 Irish homes have registered with World Rugby for tickets, and you do the maths, whether they're 2, 3 or 4 per household. And the people coming from the UK, America or Europe, wow, what a journey it's going to be like, So I'm more pleased for them that hopefully they've enjoyed themselves, and the people that are coming in the next few weeks are going to enjoy themselves just a bit more. So hopefully the journey has just started and it's going to get a little bit better as well.
So I'll just wait for the translation. Okay, yes please.
Andy, just that intent, you've done it before, you could have easily kicked the ball off and taken what you had, but what does it say about the team's mentality that you don't, that you want to keep going, that you want to get a 12th try and build that as much?
Well, they understand straight from the start, with the way that they've prepared, the ownership that they've had during the week about points matter. We don't know what different ramifications are going to happen in 2, 3 or 4 weeks' time. It's important that we get off to a good start and rack up a few points, and that was the aim. But to do that, you've got to stick to the process, and thought we did that pretty well, and we got just rewards in the end.
One more here,
Just
and
very
then we've
quickly
got
ask-
one at the back.
Just quickly ask you about Robbie and everyone else get out all right?
No, he's fine. He felt a little bit of something in his hamstring yesterday in captain's run. It wasn't worth the risk at all, so he'll be fine.
Just go to the back, and then
Pardon?
to the next.
Everyone else came through pretty well, so a good day all round.
Andy, how do you fix the communication issue, particularly, as you say, when you had line breaks? How do you actually fix that at halftime?
And just making sure, because sometimes, you know, when you're running a support line, and sometimes I feel that people become a little bit desperate, you know, and sometimes somebody's communication is a little bit more overpowering than the person that's actually on, you know. So making sure that you realise that there's somebody else in a better position than you is what being a good teammate's all about. And you know, to be fair, we're very good at that, and we certainly was in the second half.
So Christian here, and then two in the middle afterwards. Yes, please.
Hi, Johnny. Can you just expand a little bit about what you mentioned about the conditions? How tough were they? Not just because it was your first game back in a while, but generally, were they some of the worst, almost difficult, that you played in?
Yeah, I think amongst the group we were talking about it after. I don't think we're ever going to use it as an excuse, because it's the same for both teams. But yeah, they were incredibly tough. Even the warm up, you know, just talking to the lads, who said they felt like they were just burning. But thankfully we had a couple of water breaks and you know, half time to regroup, and I thought we got better as the game went on, which is the most pleasing thing from a fitness point of view. You know, the second half we found our flow a bit better. So yeah, pleasing on that front.
Just wait for translation, and then yes,
Can I
please.
ask my question in French?
Yep.
For Johnny.
You have translation if you need it.
Yeah, he's fluent.
Okay.
Hold on a minute.
I definitely haven't.
Vous avez semblé être en difficulté
You seem to be in a bit of trouble.
plusieurs fois sur le jeu au pied en
Several
première période. Vous avez
times,
reculé
on
pas mal de
the
fois. Est-ce que ça peut être un problème pour la
you were
suite?
moved
Et
back a few
pourquoi
times. Could that
vous
be a
avez
problem in
reculé?
the future? And why did you have trouble? Why did you have trouble in this area?
For the kickoffs, or was it?
In the kicking game, you had in difficulty in the kicking game.
Kicking for
In
goal.
the first half.
Kicking for goal, or
No in goal.
in open play.
Yeah, I definitely didn't hit. I dropped a couple of kickoffs terribly, which was clear. What were the other kicks?
No, I think you meant the kicking tennis.
Not you
side,
personally,
yeah,
that's
not you,
the team.
Not you, the team.
Oh, okay.
He's got over
I was
that
having
now.
a think. I was like,
He can answer it
the
properly.
French having a go at me again. I was thinking. Yeah, I felt there was a few times I felt we could have kept the ball in hand, for sure. Yeah, but we'll just have to have a look back. I think the guys work incredibly hard. The back three boys in terms of their kicking. I thought they kicked a couple of great ones. I thought we had close to a 50-20 in the second half, and then yeah, it's something we have to be incredibly good at for the rest of the tournament. You know, you saw the game last night, France, New Zealand. The amount of kick tennis that was going on. You know, you got to win those battles. I think we lost a couple of them today, but we'll keep working hard and hopefully be better.
Andy, what did you make of France, New Zealand?
I thought it was a great game. I mean, to you guys, I would have thought that you'd think that, you know, there's a bit of errors, a few errors within the game that made it a little bit stop-start, but the humidity, and this is what people don't understand and should understand. You know, when you play in a World Cup, it's a new tournament. You get new balls, and there's a film on these new balls, and you know it's difficult enough to handle in good conditions, just normal conditions. But when you play in humidity like that, and that's at 9 o'clock at night, there's going to be a few errors. You saw people who spilling the ball that don't normally spill the ball in contact, just bursting out. And when you think of it like that, and you look at them playing last night and us playing in 35 degrees there, you can appreciate the type of handling that we showed in that second half.
Johnny, how much better are you feeling now? You've got 65 minutes in your legs, and what was it like being back out there? Because I imagine you've been thinking about this moment for an awfully long time.
Yeah, 6 months thinking about it. Obviously, part of that was self-inflicted with my mistake. But like once the plan was clear to me, and Andy said, "Look, you just got to target that first game." We were able to train hard, do a bit of prep work for this game in particular. But yeah, hopefully I'm better for it. Hopefully I can improve my performance for Tonga. And like I said, it's going to be a much more difficult game. They're obviously a different caliber of player. No disrespect to Romania, I thought they fronted up, brilliantly, and they were very physical. But we see the team that Tonga have, and we know the threat they'll have had this weekend off, and they'll be just prepped for our game. They'll have 2 or 3 weeks just focused on our game. I think they've said that publicly, so it's going to be a huge challenge for us, and we got to be ready. World Cup is week on week, and we got to be ready every week.
Andy, Bundy seems extremely motivated at the moment, as everyone is. What do you make of his form?
I thought he was outstanding today. I said the same to him after the game. He looked powerful at the line, and he didn't give his legs away in contact. He always looked like he could get a few extra meters for us. He made some good decisions in attack, and he looked like he was on it, and so did a few more actually, who certainly some good performances coming off the bench as well, which was great. I thought the pace that we showed coming off the bench was very telling for the latter part of the game. So there's some very good performances out there today, and some guys that will obviously go, right, that's it, the first game's out the way, we're underway, and we'll grow as individuals and as a team as well.
Time for a couple more questions here in the middle, please.
Oui, en français, pour Johnny et Andy. Johnny, est-ce que vous avez eu peur pour votre poignet sur le premier essai que vous avez marqué? Et vous dites que vous serez là contre les Tonga, ça veut dire que pour Andy, ça va être la même équipe la semaine prochaine?
No, after the first try, I think it was just an accident. I just got a stamp on the wrist, but I'm not scared. Like when you play rugby, you got to be prepared to be injured. Like it's a tough game. It's physical, and if it happens, it happens. I can't go into games worrying about anything really. You just got to go home and play, and hope your body holds up.
We have at the back there, thanks. And then last one down the front, yeah.
Sorry, Andy, a couple of lineouts went astray. I think it was the very first one that was stolen. There was an overthrow. Is it something you're working on more than you would normally? Is it something you're worried about still?
I know we've total faith in everyone that's involved in the lineouts. They work extremely hard. One or two calls that we'd want to have a look at ourselves and want to overthrow, in our opinion. Something that will certainly keep on focused in the mind. It's obviously a very contested part of the game and very specialised part of the game. It's something that we work extremely hard on, and we back the personnel very highly to make sure that we continue with the high standards that we've always had. I mean, our line out is world class, and it will continue to be throughout this tournament.
Thank you. Last question here in the front.
Andy, just can I get your appraisal of Johnny's performance? It doesn't sound like he wants to get rested next week. It looks like he could go again.
No, I mean, I heard that he broke a few records today. So, what was the records, Johnny? The oldest player ever to play for Ireland. That's the first one. And then the other one was what? Points scored. 24 points scored, equal, and he's 8 points behind the record for the most points scored for any Irish player. So you'd think if selected, he'd be able to get that record. But the most pleasing part of the game for us definitely was 60 odd minutes under the belt and firing on all cylinders, fit and healthy and ready to go for the rest of the competition.